So once again, I'm sorry you have to stare at this ugly mug on my screen. But once again, she's fucking lying. Because if her mouth is moving, she's lying. And I'm here to correct those lies. I can't believe it, dude. I've never met somebody who just fucking lies nonstop like this about somebody else. So, of course, Laura's trying to make comparisons, again, as she always does, comparing apples and oranges. She's like, Jones and Nunya and them were this iTow channel. I think that was a channel that Laura used to, actively promote. She thought it was so fucking awesome at the time. But now she's like, they lied to their subs. And I'm like, so you're comparing lying about being some fucking troll channel to making an illegal phone call and lying about, people who aren't even on fucking YouTube here and trying to get a child taken out of their home because your feelings are hurt. You're comparing those two things, right? You're comparing somebody talking shit about another creator who actively participates in a drama community on YouTube to what you did, which is actually criminal. And I mean, you can't even compare the fucking two things, Laura, all right? A troll channel and you calling a government agency and then lying to everybody about it and letting other people get blamed for the crime that you committed is not the same thing, okay? So let's just make that fucking clear. But anyway, of course, as she's, trying to defend herself, because Laura can't fucking ignore anything that anybody says about her, even though she claims she does, she has to tell more fucking lies. So we're going to take a little listen here.
Nunya today, Nunya's been doing a lot of lives going after nonsense for whatever. Nunya says today how she doesn't like being lied on and that nobody should be lied on. But it's okay for Nunya to lie on me. That's perfectly fine. Right, Nunya? So, Nunya, in case you missed it last night, let me make it loud and clear. You said to your subscribers, oh my God, Laura did not take accountability for what she did. Now, if she would have, then we can start fresh. Okay, something like that. That's not verbatim. Nunya, I'm going to tell you again. Not only did I take accountability, I took accountability publicly and privately. Everybody knew I took full accountability. Again.
Okay, so here's the first lie. Laura, you did not take accountability, okay? I don't think you truly know what the word accountability means. I really just think you think that, I admitted it, so I took accountability. But I don't think you really know the true meaning and definition of accountability. You still haven't taken full accountability because you act like you don't remember what you said. You conveniently forgot what you said. And so I'm going to play a little clip of people describing what accountability actually is.
About it in 3 different sections, that it's apologizing, making amends, and changing your behavior so the harm doesn't happen again. And obviously that includes understanding your impact, that includes understanding the impact on you, as well as the person that was harmed or people who were harmed, as well as the community, understanding, all of the negative effects it has, all of that stuff.
And so right there, that's one thing that Laura didn't do. I specifically recall her recently, screaming out, her son's fine, nothing happened. I specifically remember hearing her say this on a live stream. She doesn't understand the potential impact this could have caused on my family. And as many times as Laura wants to claim that she apologized, first of all, we all saw her initial live where she showed absolutely no remorse, okay, which she's going to talk about in a moment, but we'll get to that. But also, she never apologized privately to me. She, claimed she did. She wrote some email up, never actually sent it to me. I never received that email. And again, go read that. That was her saying, I'm sorry, but you made me do it. That's exactly what that quote unquote apology was.
I feel like the pieces that I've learned are really important are making sure you apologize, like an actual apology, doing the work to make amends if you can, and especially working to change your behavior so that the harm doesn't happen again.
We love using the word accountability, and we all have different definitions of actually what that looks like. So I think that accountability is, in short, this is a definition that comes from an organization called the Northwest Network. It is being responsible for your choices and the consequences of your choices. And I think that's a really simple and beautiful sentence that actually means a lot. And what I've come to learn in practice is that really means doing all of the hard work that you need to do to really sit with your feelings. So 1, recognize what your feelings are, which is really hard work. 2, sit with uncomfortable feelings.
And that's another part of this that Laura hasn't done, okay? She hasn't really fully accepted what she did and, you know, why people are so outraged and upset about it. She thinks that people are lying, that they're not really mad about it. I mean, it's just insane. And that they're just sitting here using it as an excuse, you know, to not like her. At no point in time has she, you know, sat back and understood why people would be so upset with her and just kind of accepted that, yeah, I did something shitty and I get why people are mad at me. Instead, she does what she's doing here, what you're about to see.
3, really be able to peel apart the layers of how and why. Did you commit harm in the way that you did, or did you act outside of your values? And then making a plan to be able to shift the things that need to shift so you don't make that same choice moving forward. And I think that's actually really complicated and takes a long time. I think nothing about accountability is simple. It's really about how do you put in the work to make sure you can really understand, like, why did I make the choice that I made? And unless you can do that, you can't make a plan to do something different next time.
It's about doing sorry. It's an active process. Accountability is going to involve actually sitting with the harm that we've caused, sitting with the impacts of that harm, the way it's rippled out in a person's life and the lives of that person's loved ones. Accountability is going to be about figuring out what are the actions I can take to make things as right as possible.
And here is yet another way in which she hasn't, you know, taken accountability. She doesn't care. She doesn't care what she did, how it affected me, how it affected my kid, how it affected my husband. She's made that beyond clear. And, you know, at no point have I ever heard Laura talk about, you know, what she's learned from this or how she's going to change moving forward. She just wants us to believe that she changed. That's it. She's like, oh, I changed. I'm not the same person anymore. But, you know, that's not good enough, Laura. It's not. You know, you've said that so many times and you've failed to prove each and every time that you've changed in any way, shape, or form. But, you know, you have no understanding of why people are so upset about this. And that's a part of taking accountability.
Given that I can't go back in time and change what I did. And accountability also means like looking inward and thinking about what's the transformation that I need to make to ensure that I'll never cause that harm again.
And another thing that she fails to realize is that, you know, it's not like Laura just owned this one day. She was kind of forced into owning it because she was outed. And she really just didn't have any other choice. It's not like she, you know, woke up one day and her guilty conscience got the best of her and she was like, you know what, I'm going to own this. No, when it first came out, and she's going to mention it here in a second, you know, she fucking lost her shit and did not seem sorry at all. Once she realized the consequences of her actions, okay, and how people were reacting to it, that's when she started, you know, with her bullshit apologies and everything. But it's like, girl, we saw your initial reaction. You could fucking try to make every excuse in the book about that. We know that that's your true feelings, and that's what came out.
The first knee-jerk reaction that I did, I was shocked that it was even happening, that it even came out. I had just woken up. It was not my best life, which is why I went on private.
I love all the excuses. I just woke up. It was my knee-jerk reaction. I was in shock. Girl, fuck you, okay? That's your whole problem. Part of your whole problem is that you take no time to think about anything and you just hit that live button. You have poor impulse control and you just go live and again, don't think about the consequences of your actions.
After I had 24 hours to think about what happened, then I did a live. Thank you. By admitting it, you took accountability.
I don't know what idiot in her chat is telling her that, but yeah, okay, she partially took accountability by admitting it, but she had no fucking choice but to admit it. It was out. It was proven. She had no choice but to admit it. If she denied it, she would have looked like an even bigger asshole. And I love how she says, she's like, well, I had 24 hours to think about it. No, you had 24 hours to see how everybody was reacting to it. And once you saw your sub count going down, you were like, shit, I need to rectify this. Let me remedy this in some way. I'll write a fake apology. Well, you didn't bring that up till I think a couple of days later, but, you know, you were trying to then, you know, put the fucking toothpaste back in the tube after that, you know, trying to fucking uncrack the egg, you know, after it was already cracked, once you realized how it was affecting you. Before that, you didn't give a fuck.
But there are people still running around saying how I didn't take accountability. I not only took accountability publicly, I never fucking denied it. And then these people are, not them particularly, but these people, and it happened in Nunya's chat, were literally running around saying that, oh, well, she lied to her subs all this time. Well, Nunya, Jones, and Deej, you guys have been lying to your subs all this time. What makes yours any better than mine? I'm just asking.
Ooh, I could answer that for you. See, the difference is that they're lying about a fucking troll channel that was just talking shit. I believe, I don't know, I didn't really watch the channel. And you were lying about a fucking crime that you committed, okay? Yes, Laura, it's a fucking crime to, falsely report things to government agencies. So that's the difference. Not only were you lying about it, you were blaming other people for it and knowing the whole time that you did it. So, yeah, that's pretty different,
Not only that, but let's go one step further. To not only lie and say that I never took accountability, which is fucking total bullshit, Jonesin has done more real life shit in her 2 years than I've done in 6. That is a fact. An absolute fucking fact. Have I had a bad mouth? Absolutely I have. Am I a real lifer? Absolutely not.
Is she fucking kidding here? You absolutely are a fucking real lifer, Laura. I mean, you went real life on me. According to, the drama community definitions or the internet definition, you definitely are a real lifer. And not only did you do that to me, you have continually threatened other people that you were going to contact their jobs at the post office and do other, similar real life things. So, yeah, I think you're a fucking real lifer. You absolutely are.
I have not even thought of doing 3/4 of the shit that Jonesin has done on this platform. Does that make Jonesin a bad person? Absolutely not. But let's call a spade, and let's not act like you're holier than thou and that you're going to call people out. You have absolutely no right to call anybody out after all the real life shit that you've done. And then I hear her say that she's going to go after Jay now. Okay, and again, I am not a Jay fan. That she's going to go after Jay now about the Shanann Watts thing. Jonesin, please do not. Let Shanann and her babies rest in peace, thank you. That Jay has already been sued. Jay has gotten tons of shit. She lost a ton of following. Yeah, Jay for justice. She has been ridiculed, slammed, everything for what she did with Shanann Watts. Lana is another one that she was involved with that, they both lost subs over it.
Whoop, whoop, it's the fucking YouTube police. Laura's here to tell people what they can talk about and what they can't talk about. She's like, yeah, she's been gone after. You were one of the people that fucking used to talk shit about her, Laura. I mean, who the fuck are you to tell people what they could cover and what they can't cover on their fucking channels, dude? Like, what the fuck?
Please let these babies lie. I understand that every time you go on vacation, you want to call people out. Whenever there's a vacation coming up, you're as clear as fucking glass. I mean, you're as transparent as glass. Do not bring up the Shanann Watts again. Jay does enough shit on her own.
Does she not know that clear and transparent are the same thing?
You don't need to bring up the Shanann Watts stuff. And again, I'm not cheerleading for Jay, but there's other stuff you can go after Jay for. Honestly, there is. Tons of other stuff. Please don't do it with Shanann Watts. And I wish Jones would take a link because I have questions. I want to know what the fuck makes her the authority to call this one out or call that one out. Get the fuck out of here. Stop trying to be the moral fucking police.
As she sits here doing exactly that. I mean, that's exactly what she's doing right now. She's going to tell other people not to do it.
I don't have a problem with people giving an opinion, and I certainly don't have a problem with people wanting to hold somebody accountable for something. I get it. It's all good. But don't sit up there like a moral fucking authority like you're so much better. You tell Brittany to ignore shit. You don't fucking ignore anything. Anything. It beats him says Jonesin sucks. You make a short about it.
How ironic is this statement? She's like, oh, somebody says, you suck. You make a short about it. Anybody brings up Laura being a CPS caller, which is a fact, right? It's not like they're fucking lying about her. She's got to go live and fucking rant and rave about it and make herself the fucking victim.
I said something about you for 15 seconds and you made three different lives about it. Like, you literally ignore nothing. But yet, you have the audacity to...
Audacity? The fuck is audacity?
Sit there like, oh, Brittany should ignore it. Why? You don't. And you're only getting a small percentage of it. So again, I don't know why Jonesin has to feel like she's the moral fucking authority of YouTube. Now, where Nunya is a little different in that, Nunya's calling out Nonsense. I guess Nonsense lied about Nunya or something. I haven't really followed it because I don't watch Nonsense. But I guess Nonsense is lying about Nunya. Nunya, for the last couple of days, have been calling out Nonsense for it. I'm okay with that. I get that. And I understand why she's doing it. And I understand why she's calling out her friend. Because there's nothing worse than a friend or an ex-friend who lies about you, who goes after you, who talks about your family, who talks about your kids, who talks about your business for 2 years fucking straight.
And here starts the lies. Nobody talked about your kids. Nobody talked about your friends, okay? Unless they came in my chat and started shit, then I would talk about them. But, yeah. This is where she's gonna start just fucking lying. Straight up lying.
I'm sorry, 3 years straight. And then you do something stupid because you can't fucking handle it. And oh my God, you get ostracized for fucking from here till fucking eternity. You get totally ostracized for it. And oh my God, there's nothing worse in the whole wide world than what you did a couple of years ago. Not taking into consideration why I did it, how fed up I was. Someone, I mean, these same women can't fucking handle someone making a comment about them, let alone someone attacking them day after day after day who was your friend. Nunya can't handle nonsense for, what, a couple of weeks? Just a couple of weeks. How about 3 years every fucking day? 3 years every fucking day, Monday to Friday. Somebody lying about you, attacking you, going after your business, going after your friends, going after every aspect of your life. Hey, Just Irish.
This is just a fucking lie, dude. Okay? First of all, Laura, my last text message to you when I told you to fuck all the way off, I believe I sent that February of 2021. You called CPS August of 2021. Okay, so do the fucking math. That's not 3 years, day after day after day after day, every single day, Monday through Friday. First of all, never in the fucking lifetime of my channel, okay, have I ever fucking gone live Monday through Friday or anything even fucking close to that, okay? Yeah, maybe I went live once, twice a week, but anybody could go back on my channel and go look and see how often I was live in 2021 between February and August. It wasn't all that often. And second of all, it was 6 months, Laura. 6 months. And you fucking called CPS. You're trying to paint it like I was talking about you for 3 years straight. And, you know, you just couldn't take it after 3 years. I continued to talk to you about you after the CPS call because I knew you had something to do with it. Because, see, unlike you, Laura, I don't have a fucking, you know, a million different people that I'm fighting with at any given time that could be the possible suspects. It was pretty fucking obvious who did it and where it came from. There was only like 3 people, to be quite honest, that I would think would be even capable of doing this to me. So, yeah, I continue to talk about your fucking ass, but, you know, she's like, oh, you attacked my friends. What friends did I attack, Laura? The people that came in my chat and talked shit to me, and then I would talk shit back to them? Like, I attacked your business. I laughed at your fucking janky candles, dude. They were pretty bad. I mean, come on. Attacked your business? Did I affect your business? No. Okay, you're still in business, right? You're a fucking thriving candle empire with a fucking assistant, right? That answers your calls because you're so busy. The fuck out of here with this bullshit. She's such a liar. You want to say I talked shit about you? Fine. But at least fucking be honest about it. But we know you can't be honest about anything. You can't be honest about taking accountability because you still haven't taken full accountability. You won't admit what you said. Okay? And then be honest that it was only 6 months that we weren't talking and then you called, Laura. Come on. And, you know, I love how she makes herself the victim. She's the ultimate victim in every situation. But, you know, you had your people coming in my chat. You and your friends were trolling me. You would come in my chat. You would fucking antagonize me while I wasn't talking about you. And you would try to get me to talk about you so you had content. And, you know, you act like you were just sitting over there minding your own fucking business. And we all know that couldn't be further from the truth, okay? You were no innocent party that was just sitting around minding your business, Laura.
Think about that. When you finally get to a point where you're fucking boom, so you make a mistake. And then the righteous police who have done worse than you, well, some of them, not all of them, want to sit there and judge you and act like you are so bad.
I don't watch any of these people, but could anybody please tell me if any of these people have done anything worse? She acts like everybody's done so much worse than her. I mean, I don't know much worse than calling up a government agency and lying to them about, a person that's not even on this platform and saying he's doing disgusting illegal shit with their child. I don't really know much worse than that. So if anybody could, fill me into what the fuck she's talking about, let me know. And her doing these lives is proof that she hasn't fully taken accountability, because she's still so goddamn angry about this shit. Like, how dare people, bring up the fact that I called CPS? Well, you're sitting here judging other people, and what do you think is going to happen? I mean, the whole time since it's happened, since it came out, she has no understanding of why people would, call her out or be upset. Meanwhile, before she got called out, she acted so horrified about, people calling CPS. But now that she's been busted out as the CPS caller herself, it's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But prior to that, it was like the worst sin you could commit, on YouTube to anybody, when it happened to her, when she was the victim of it. But now that she's the perpetrator, it's not that big of a deal. People have done worse. It's like, Laura, you knew what was going to happen. You knew the consequences. Shut the fuck up and just deal with it. Okay. You're going to be known as a CPS caller around here. That it is what it is.